Hello, hello, my friends. How are you tonight? Back to our Let's Learn Cricut page. So if you are seeing me pop up there and wondering, wait, I thought you said you weren't going to be here. Well, I am going to be here if it has to do with Cricut. I'm not going to be here if it has to do with paper, stamps, and ink only. Okay? I decided to separate the two because lots of you love Cricut and came here for Cricut, but an equal number of you prefer not to use your Cricut to make cards. So we are here and we will do on Tuesdays, we'll bring out the Cricut Joy. On Monday, I'll be on my new Facebook page. I know, it's confusing. I'll be on my new Facebook page, Let's Make Cards, and we'll just be making cards without the Cricut. Okay? All right, cool. YouTube is going to have it all. And you can just go to YouTube if it's too, where am I supposed to be? It'll be live on YouTube as well, so you can just watch it there. Easy peasy. All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit about Cricut and Joy. The reason we kind of put a bunch of stuff away, hey Lana, over the last few weeks, I feel like I had everything was just cumbered and crazy and what have you. So cleaned house, moved some things out of the way, straightened things out, and now we have a clear path forward. So I'm hoping that somehow we'll hit everyone that wants to make a card with a Cricut, without a Cricut. Okay? Cool. If you like both, hey, we're here for both. Not a worry. So on Tuesday night at 7, we'll be doing cards with Cricut Joy. And my cards are a little different than the ones if you look in just the Design Space software that they have you make the Cricut Joy with. I tend to do things a little bit differently because, hey, that's who I am. In case you don't know me, I was a Cricut product expert for years, ran huge Facebook groups, all those things, and then I stepped away and said, okay, enough with that. And now my Cricut classroom has all been cleaned up. If you enrolled in a class years ago, it's still there. When you log into the classroom, your old classes are still there. They're just not current. So if I were you, I would go in and clean up mine too. If it wasn't something I needed, I would just delete it and get rid of it so it's not so hard to find new things. But if you just want to hold on to it, they are yours. You can hold on to them. The beauty of my classroom, whether it's this or whether it's the membership for people that don't want to make cards with Cricut but want to make cards, the beauty of the classroom is the stuff is always there. Once you log in, you will see anything you've purchased or enrolled in. Okay? Cool. So let me bring you over to the blog so you can see where to find things. So you simply go to, as always, karamiller.com. And up at the top, I kind of I added one new thing so that you could find it. These are the memberships. So let's look at that first. You can choose, and the reason you want to do a membership, you're going to click on new classes when you get here. The reason that you want to do a membership is it's the best deal, promise. Everything that I offer online or things that I put up for sale in the store, depending on which track you go, it will be here for you. So if you want just paper, stamps, and ink, you don't want the Cricut, this is the one for you. If you are all about, yeah, paper, stamps, and ink, but you want the Cricut Joy and you want custom SVG files, this is the one for you. So when you click on that, now you can come in and read what it's all about. You're going to get 4 cards that I do in Facebook Live on Tuesdays. You're going to get the custom SVG for those. So that's 4. You're then going to get 6 additional SVGs. Now, if you've been following me for a long time, you know that I call things cute names. And I named my card SVGs Embellies because it was cute. And they are little files. They're designed to be cut on the Joy. Now you can of course use your Maker or your Explore. Anything that uses Design Space can cut these. All right. So let's go back to here and let's look in the SVG shop. Now if you don't join the membership, you're going to want to come in here and pick out SVGs that you like. The one I'm using right now, I have it offered for free in the store so that you can give it a try. So you click on this and it brings you into the store. You tells you what it is. You add it to the cart and then you're going to download it and save it to your computer. This is serious, the trickiest part. That's the hardest part of working with any of these because you have to remember where you put it. If you're like me, you think, well, I'll put it here and I'll know right where it is, and you won't. So remember where you put it. Make yourself a little sticky note if you have to. And then you're going to go into Design Space. Just like you would if you were going to use the Cricut Maker, whatever you're going to be using. You're going to go in whatever Cricut you're using, as long as it uses Design Space, you can use these. Okay? First thing you're going to do is come over here to Upload. You're going to go to wherever you saved it, and you're going to use this image section of Upload, and you're going to say Upload the image. What you're uploading is an SVG, Scalable Vector Graphic. It's a file that has lines, but it also tells Cricut what to cut. You're going to upload it. I've got it right here so I can see it. I'm going to click that, and I'm going to say Add to the Canvas. So here's what it looks like, and you're thinking that does not look like a card. I don't know what that looks like, but it doesn't look like a card. Well, let me bring you over here for a minute, and I'm going to tell you a trick. I suggest, and all of my cards are created using a card base. And the card base is from an 8.5 by 11. Yes, the Cricut can cut and score it, but I'm telling you, it's a waste of time and paper to ask Cricut to do it. It's so much faster for you to take an 8.5 by 11, take your trimmer, cut it on the long edge at 5.5, right? Now I have 2 cards. Take this and turn it again and put it at 4.25. Use the lighter one and score. Card base is made. Super simple. It would take much longer to create that in Design Space, even if I gave you the file, just because you'd have to load a 12 by 12, probably, to get, you wouldn't get 2 cards out of an 8.5 by 11. It's just the way Cricut cuts. It can't go all the way to the edge. So this is a much slicker way to make your card base. I suggest you go ahead and make a bunch of bases because you are going to make cards like there's no tomorrow when you're using the Joy because it's just so quick and easy. So make yourself a bunch of card bases. These fit in the standard medium envelope, so grab a pack of these. This is 40 envelopes. Grab a pack of those, and then you've got envelopes and cards for days. If you notice, and this is also in the membership, when we were talking a couple of weeks ago, and I'll link this below, but how to take a pack of 12 by 12 and turn it into make a card kit so that we're doing hashtag Let's Cut Paper. It gives you all the pieces that are perfectly sized to fit, hello Deborah, that are going to fit on the front of your card. So it's not wasting. It's not a waste of time. It's not a waste of paper. You end up with this, and you end up with a stack of, let me bring these over. You're going to end up with a stack of these too. These little pieces are cut off the bottom, okay? So if you're not sure what this is and you don't remember how to do it, check out the YouTube video, or if you join the membership, it's in there. So now we're ready. We've got all of our papers set. These are the papers we're going to use. Oh, I should probably let you see what the card looks like. The other thing that I recommend that you do, if you're going to use a stamp that has coordinating dies and you like that idea, do it. Do it. I made the bear before you came. I stamped him. I stamped 2 of him right here, actually. And then I ran him through my die cut machine, my Stamp and Boss, this baby, right? I ran him through there, and now he's ready to go. I could spend some time in the afternoon and make a whole bunch of these. If I was going to do a bunch of cards, I would make a bunch of bears, and then I'd have them. Just stamp and cut, stamp and cut, stamp and cut. You do it while you're watching TV. You don't have to think about it. There will be cards that don't need that, but tonight's card uses this bear just because I'm in love with him. And this is the card that we're going to make tonight, which looks very eerily similar to the one we made last night using our trimmer and paper only. Only because I wanted to show you, it doesn't have to look like those funny cards that you see that look like they were done by a machine. This looks like a person made it, even though the Cricut Joy was my best helper. Okay? All right, cool. So let's do it. So let me bring you back into Design Space. Notice I have 3 layers over here. I'm going to pick my colors. So I'm going to ungroup it so that you can see it for a minute. You've got this, and then this funky thing, and then this is what we're going to stamp on. That's where our sentiment's going to go. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to even ungroup it. You can just tell Cricut, go ahead and make it. Make sure that you have selected Joy up here so it knows what machine you're using. If you switch back and forth, just make sure that because it won't find your Joy if you're on the Maker. But make sure you pick the Joy and say make it. And it's going to do a little bit of thinking. And now it tells you I need my first mat and I'm ready to load, right? Okay. I'm trying to see if I can do 2 of these. Let me figure this out. Can I do 2? I don't want me. I want you. No, I don't. Sorry. I think I can do this. I just have to figure out. Oh, looky there. So that you can see what's happening with the machine and what's happening with Design Space. The technology just blows my mind. Okay, so the first one wants the white layer. All right, in my case, it is actually going to be the white layer, and it's going to be little. It's going to be the piece that I'm going to stamp on. But I'm going to pop this piece on. Now, this is one of mine from my card kit. You can probably use this a bunch of times for lots of different little pieces. But you're not going to waste your paper. So hold on to it. All right, so now I come back into Design Space and I say continue down here in the bottom right. It's thinking. And I'm going to choose medium cardstock because the insert cardstock would be if I were going to do one of the ones that Cricut has designed where you use the fold over mat and it cuts out a bunch of holes and then shows something through. We'll talk about those some other time, but not tonight. So now I've picked everything. I'm going to go ahead and load it. The Joy just grabs it, and now it's going to make sure that the paper is appropriate, that it's ready. And then, see the green go in the corner? I'm going to say go. And it's going to go ahead and cut out that one little shape. I will tell you it works way faster when I'm not asking it to broadcast. It tends to get a little bit of stage fright and get shy when you guys are here. And then back over onto the software, and I'm going to say unload. And then remember, when you take these off, you're going to peel the top off. And there's that piece. I want you to be able to see it. Okay? There's that little piece. Next one is the layer. Let me get the card. It's this orange layer on this card. So on the card we're making tonight, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use some Designer Series paper. And that's going to make my frame. All right, so that's going to go right here. You'll also notice I'm using the light grip mat, but this is not an official Cricut mat. I get these on Amazon. I'll put the link below after we're done, and they're much cheaper than the Cricut mats. And I've been using them for a long time. I use them for the Maker. I use them for the Cricut Joy. They are great. And this pack came with 3 different weights of, so it came with the blue, the green, and the purple. I swear by blue mats for paper crafters. It works much better. Still picking medium cardstock, even though it's designer series paper, because it's Stampin' Up! Paper. And it's loading and checking and make sure I have enough paper for that. And then I'm going to tell it, go ahead and go. So now it's going to cut out this thin piece that's going to go on here. Now we didn't do this last night. We did squares and we had to glue them all down. Where do you see how this works out? Gives you the similar look, but it's much easier to create. It's also so satisfying to watch this work. Why do I like the Joy? I love the Joy because it's so itty bitty, and for doing cards, you can't beat it because it just goes so quick. It really does. It's complete, so we're going to unload. Again, flip her over. You take the mat away from the paper. If I tried to pull the paper up, it was going to curl. So I have that left over, which I can always use on something else. Turn this out. Now this is itty bitty and really dainty. You got to be careful. Then I have these cute squares that I'm definitely holding on to that I'm going to use for something else. I have some Calypso Coral ones. Now I have some green ones. Definitely going to hold on to those. And they have this other design in the back. Those could make another card while we're at it. And then last but not least is the bottom layer. And I am again going to use designer series paper. And I'm going to use one with a pattern, and you're wondering that's going to look silly. It's not, trust me. All right, so we're going to load you in. And again, I'm picking medium cardstock. Your Joy may be a little different, and you also have to determine how sharp is your blade. Have you been doing a ton of cutting? Like in the next month, I bet you're going to be zooming through your Christmas cards, getting started on that, or some Halloween. Well, you better have already gotten those going. Some Halloween cards, maybe some Thanksgiving. So you might need to have an extra blade on hand because you're going to go through them. I find that even though it's a small machine, I do tend to go through blades a little bit more because you just cut so much. It's just so easy. All right, so this is the amount of paper that I had left over, and I can definitely use them again if I need to. Here are the pieces for my card. I'm now done. If you look at my file, you can see that we're done with that. Mary, good idea. Okay, so now let's bring you over here and let's put this together. So first things first, I'm going to take my card base. And I have to decide, and I wasn't sure which I wanted, so I thought I would have both options. I love this paper. I wasn't sure if it was going to be too busy, so I'm going to put that there first and see. This is going to go here. Oh no, it's not too busy. I like it. Okay. That's why I have this one in case I needed an option. All right, let's put you down, right? So my card base is all done. This was pre-cut. This was from our card kit, already pre-cut. I am going to, I'm using this. This works super well. This is that, has a good name. I don't know what it is right this minute. It's from Stampin' Up. Ugh. Someone's going to know what it is. I'll put the link later too. What's great about working with Stampin' Up! Products is everything matches. And you know it's going to match. So I put a little bit of seal on the back, but by using this mat, it didn't get all over my table. If any glue got on it, you just roll it up and it goes away. It's awesome. All right, so now, this is a little tricky, but it's really not hard. You got to line this baby up. It's going to fit exactly on the edge. See it? Get it on there. And this is why I said this paper's not going to look silly. It's going to look super cute because it looks like I'm peeking out the window and I can see the owl, right? Okay, now let's put this down. on top of here. So this, because the designer series paper is so cool, it really does its own thing. I almost don't need anything else because it's so cool. I didn't adhesive this down here. There. Okay. So now I have this. This also saves my white desk because I can use this to stamp on. And I am going to stamp the welcome using Calypso Coral because that's going to pick up the color of my fox. Now, if you remember last night, we did it. If you weren't here last night, I'll show you. We did it using a tag. I don't see the tag. Is he under here? Nope, he's not. Trust me, it was a tag, which you could still use if you wanted. But Cricut did this, so I'm going to let it do it, and I'm going to stamp this right on here. And then I flip her over, and I'm going to use some dimensionals on this. So this does not look like a machine-made card. This looks like you made a really sweet handmade card because there's just enough of your own touch on it that it doesn't look mechanical. Now I've got Mr. Bear, which I stamped and cut out with my die cut machine. My Stampin' Cut and Emboss, I don't know. I'm really bad at the names, you guys. I'm sorry. It works. Using my dimensionals on the back. And now Mr. Bear, he probably should get some Wink of Stella to add a little something to him, but I just want you to see him. So now he's going to go here. Now, if I put him right here, he's going to cover up the fox, but it's okay. I think I can kind of move him down a little so the fox peeks out from behind. That's going to change depending on what your paper is, because if I used a different paper, the fox wouldn't be there. But he's so cute. So there is my card made with my Cricut Joy. I didn't have to do any measuring. I didn't have to do a 3" by a 1/4 inch by divided by 4.5. Didn't have to do any of that. Cricut did all the work. And I can still make it look just as handy dandy homemade, made by hand with a whole bunch of love. Only instead of using just my trimmer, I use this as one of my favorite tools. Okay? So the reason I'm keeping these guys separate, I'm keeping the no Cricut on one night and the Cricut on the other, is so that those of you that love Cricut can ask Cricut questions and we won't confuse people that don't know what we're talking about. And the people that want just paper and ink, they won't be frustrated by me popping in here with this crazy machine. So it will be 2 separate items, 2 separate looks. It might be you want everything, you want it all, in which case you can do that. You can have it all. If you want them both, let me go back to where I'm talking about so that you know. If you look at these and say, oh, I can't decide. I want, come back. If you look at this and you think, I want both, but I don't know if I can afford both, I want you to send me a note and say, I really, really want both, and I will give you a coupon that you can use to get them for less than the full price. Okay? I'll take care of you, I promise. I want you to be a part of this. I want you to get value out of what you purchase. My goal this year is that people use what they buy. So if you bought a Cricut Joy and it's sitting in the corner, dust it off, get it out. It doesn't take a lot of room. Look how little this little baby is. It doesn't take a lot of room. It's also on sale right now on Amazon, and I guarantee there's going to be something on Black Friday. I don't know, but there always is. It's only $99 right now. You can own a Cricut and do it. And I don't work for Cricut anymore, so I can tell you honestly, you don't have to spend $300 on a maker. I am the person that makes the cards. The only thing I'm responsible for is my class and my SVGs. I share products that I love. I love Stampin' Up. I love the quality of the paper. And I do like this Cricut machine. I think it's the coolest thing. because it lets you do cool stuff and not take up half your table and not make you suddenly go all machiny on it, if that's such a word. Okay? All right. Well, thanks for coming. Drop me a note. Tell me in the comments what kinds of things you'd like to see going forward. We have tags coming. We have embellishments that go on the front of a little box or a bag. Sometimes the trimmer works better. And when the trimmer works better, I'll bring it out. And lots of times the Cricut does some pretty cool stuff. The Cricut Joy can write, so that's an option. It can cut vinyl. It can do a lot of things. Right, Lana? It is the coolest thing. I just love it. It doesn't take up a ton of room. You can even have it on the end table and watch TV and do it. It's not super noisy. It's a great little machine. But anywho, I'm excited to share cards with you. We're all about the cards now. And share cards with you with different ways of making them. This is made with a trimmer and a lot of cutting and measuring. Oh no, I'm sorry. These two are the same. Where's the cutting? This one. This one is made with the trimmer. These two are made with the Cricut. It's hard to know the difference. Next week, we won't try and copy our trimmer one. I just wanted to show you that it really doesn't have to look all foofy. It could look really cool. Have a great night. I'll see you all soon.